Hello viewers, this Not Too Fast here. In today's video, I'll be doing a full review and install of this ANNKE 4K security system. Now this system has an NVR or network video recorder which can record continuously 24/7. There's a physical hard drive inside the NVR, and that's how I was able to record many days of video. With this setup, I have 4 cameras, and these cameras have 4K Ultra HD resolution. Now this system can support up to 8 channels or 8 cameras, so if you want you can add 4 more cameras, giving you full coverage around your home or your business. In this video I'll show you everything you need to know from setup to installation and how to play back the recorded videos and export it to an external drive. So there are lots of information to cover, stay tuned. Here's a look at the ANNKE NVR or network video recorder and the box it comes in. This one here is a model H800 and it supports 8 channel for 8 separate cameras. The video resolution it records in is 4K and it uses H.265 video compression. I'll unbox it and show you what comes with it. Here's a mouse, AC power cord, HDMI cable, Ethernet cable, remote control, power adapter, security sticker, software disk, user manual, this is the ANNKE H800 NVR. Now when you buy it, it does not come with a hard drive pre-installed. You can add a 1, 2, 3, or 4 terabyte hard drive to your shopping cart, and when you receive the parts, you can install the hard drive yourself. The installation is very simple. Open up the top cover, connect the hard drive power cable and the SATA cable, install the 4 screws for the hard drive, and then put the cover back on. Looking at the front, there's a power LED. Below that is a status LED. This will blink red when you're writing or reading from the hard drive. Right here is a transmit receive LED. This will blink yellow when there's network activity. There's the control buttons. You can use it to navigate right, left, up and down, and the middle button is enter. Over here is a menu button. Below that, the escape button. On the far right is a USB port. You can use it to connect to an external USB drive for exporting video files. And above that is an infrared sensor for the remote control. Let's have a look at the back. Over here are the 8 Ethernet ports for connecting to your cameras. They're numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is the audio in port, audio out, VGA output, HDMI output, LAN port for connecting to your home router, USB port for connecting to your mouse, and this is a DC power input port, and this is the on-off switch. Here are the 4 ANNKE 4K Ultra HD cameras. Now the one I've chosen here are the bullet style. You can also choose the turret style or the dome style. Also remember the NVR has 8 channel input, so when you buy the system you can opt to get 8 cameras, or if you want to start off with 4 cameras and then you can add additional cameras later. Now each camera will come with one 60 feet long Ethernet cable, so depending on how big your house or business is, the 60 feet might be sufficient for you. Now if you do need a longer cable run, then it's best for you to pick up a box of 1000 feet cable and cut and terminate the RJ45 connector yourself. I do have a video showing you how to do this, so if you want to learn how to make your own Ethernet cable, check that video out. But let's open one of these up and I'll show you the camera. Mounting template, user manual, installation tool, weather boot for the RJ45 connector, installation hardware, and here's the camera itself. I'll go ahead and open up the other 3. Here are the 4 cameras and the 4 Ethernet cables. This camera uses a Sony 8 megapixel CMOS sensor. It has 4K resolution, 3840 by 2160 at 15 frames per second. The camera lens has a viewing angle of 102 degrees. For night vision, it uses 2 high power infrared LEDs, and the night vision distance is up to 100 feet or 30 meters. The minimum illumination is 0.01 lux. The camera is weatherproof, it's IP67 rated, and the operating temperature is minus 22 degrees Fahrenheit to 140 degrees Fahrenheit, or minus 30 degrees Celsius to 60 degrees Celsius. The overall construction of this camera is very good. The body of the camera is metal, including the base. To adjust the angle of the camera is very simple. Loosen the collar right here. Then adjust the camera. Once you have it the way you like, tighten this collar. and then hold it in the position. Looking at the back, you have this cable coming out. On this end, you have the RJ45 connector for connecting to the Ethernet cable. Now this camera is a PoE camera, so it supports power over Ethernet. Through this connector, you'll have network connectivity and power to the camera. This other connector here is a power plug, so if you're using this camera in an NVR system that does not support PoE, then you can connect your own power supply to power the camera. Now when you connect the Ethernet cable to the camera, pay attention to this weather cover and how you install it, because if you don't install this properly, then water can get into the connector and corrode the contacts right here. Now with each camera, they've also included another weather cover. The reason they did this is if you run your own Ethernet cable, you can install this onto the cable you run. Now if you're using this cable, you do have to get the gasket that's in this bag and install it onto this connector right here. What you want to do is put this rubber gasket onto the end right here, plug the connector, put the weather cover over it, and turn it clockwise to lock it in. And then this end here, there's a rubber insert right here to keep the water out. What you want to do is screw this down and tighten this. And now this connector is weatherproof. Let me show you the setup I have here right now. I went ahead and connected the 4 cameras to the NVR. Instead of using the long Ethernet cable, I'm using these short blue ones I have here. Of course, when you're setting this up yourself, you can go ahead and use a long Ethernet cable that comes with it, or use your own Ethernet cable. So these 4 cameras are connected to channel 1, 2, 3, and 4. The VGA output is connected to the monitor right here. The LAN is connected to my home router. And the mouse is connected to this USB port. And the power cable is connected. So this is all the connection you need to make when you're installing this. Now I'll power this on. The first thing you need to do is create a new admin password. So make sure you remember what you set this to. You also need to set up an IP camera activation password. If you want, you can use the same password as the one you're using for admin. Now click OK. Next, it'll ask you 3 security questions. Go ahead and fill those out. Configuration succeeded. The device is now activated. Next, it'll ask you to set the unlock pattern. Hold down your left mouse button and drag to connect 4 dots. Select the language. If you don't want the setup wizard to show when you power up the device, then uncheck this. Next, set your time zone. Day format. Here's the day and time. For the network connection, DHCP is enabled. Next, on this screen you need to set up a verification code. This can be 6 to 12 digits or letters. At the bottom you can scan a QR code to install the ANNKE Vision app. Here's the ANNKE Vision. Install it. Here's the installed ANNKE Vision app. Press a plus sign to add the device. Select Scan QR Code. Scan the serial number QR code on the right side here. Add and complete it. Next. So now the NVR has been added to this app. Let's continue with the setup on the NVR. Here you can change the port numbers if you want. Select Next. This screen will show you the installed hard drive. For a new hard drive, you should format it. So select it. Select Init. OK. Once it's done, select Next. Next. Here you can choose to enable continuous recording 24/7 or record on motion detection only. Right now you're looking at the 4 camera views. I'll put my hand over the camera so you can see they're all different. Here's a look at the back of the NVR with the 4 cameras connected and the video is being recorded. Now that I know these 4 cameras are working, I'll install the cameras in different locations around the home. Here I'm installing the camera under the eave. Loosen this collar. Now you can adjust the angle of the camera and then tighten down the collar. You can run the Ethernet cable up through the vent holes and into the attic, and then connect the Ethernet cable to the RJ45 connector on the camera. Under the eave, I've poked a hole here. I'm fishing this Cat5 cable into this hole right now. I'll go in the attic and grab it. I'm here in the attic at the very corner of the house. There is the fishing rod with the Cat5 cable. Here are the camera cables from the attic going into the house and connecting to the NVR. With the cameras installed, now I'll power on the NVR. Right now you're looking at channel 1, 2, 3, and 4. You can double click on one of the camera and go to full screen. Double click again to go back. Now right now all 4 cameras have the name camera 01. You can configure the name for each camera. To do that, select menu at the top here. Select camera. Select OSD. This one here is channel 1 camera. Click on the name. and enter the name you want. I'll call this front 1. Apply. Now you can select a different channel. This channel 2. I'll call this front 2. Apply. And you can do the same for the other 2 cameras. Now you can also set the motion detection area. To do that, in the camera menu, select motion. The red boxes here tells you the full screen is detecting motion. If they're a part of the screen that you don't want motion detection, use your mouse cursor and click over the selection. So right now this empty area will not detect motion. You can also set the sensitivity by dragging this bar here. And if you want to go back to full screen motion detection, click on full screen. You can also disable the motion detection by unchecking this box right here. After you set this camera, you can choose another camera to set. When you're done, click on apply. There's also a privacy mask function. With a privacy mask, you can mask off part of the screen where you don't want it to show. Now you can set 4 individual zones for the mask. And all you have to do is drag the mouse over a screen. That's 1, 2, 3. And make sure you enable privacy mask and then hit apply. If you want to remove the mask, click clear all. While I have this menu open, if you want to shut down the NVR, go to shutdown menu and select shutdown. Give it a few seconds and then you turn off the power switch at the back. Now looking at this view, if you click on the screen, a menu comes up. You can select to stop recording. Next you can select playback. You can turn on and off the audio. Now keep in mind the camera does not have a built-in microphone. If you want to record audio, you need to buy a CCTV microphone and connect it to the audio input port on the NVR. You can select digital zoom. Now with a digital zoom, use the scroll wheel on the mouse. Next is image settings. Here you can adjust brightness, contrast, and saturation. Live view strategy. For the live view, you can select real time, balanced, or fluency. Information. This will show you the resolution of the camera and the bit rate. Now let's go back to instant playback. This will show you a buffer recording for the last 5 minutes. When you're done, exit. Now this default view will show you 8 channels. You can switch it to 4-channel display. At the top here, you have 1x1 or 2x2. With the 2x2, it'll show you the 4 cameras. Now on this main menu, you can select either continuous recording or motion detection recording. If you select continuous recording, then the NVR will record video non-stop 24/7. If you select motion detection record, then it will only record when motion is detected. Now you can export event recordings or normal recordings. To do that, you first need to connect an external USB drive to the NVR. Right here I have a thumb drive connected to the front USB port. Now if you want to export recorded event videos to an external drive, what you want to do is first select menu at the top here. Select export. You can choose normal or events. Here you can specify the start date and time and the end date and time. You can also choose a pre-play time of the events and also the post-play time. At the bottom you can select which camera you want. I'll choose camera 1 and camera 2. Now select search. And here are the videos of the search results. You can select a video and play it. And if you want to export the file to an external drive, select the file you want to export. Click on export at the bottom. Right now you're looking at the USB drive that I plugged in. You can select the backup file type, MP4 or AVI. Click on export. Click OK. And now the video files are copied over to the external drive. If you want to play back the recorded video, move your mouse to the top. A menu will open up. Select playback. On the right, you can select which camera you want to look at. Below that, you can select the dates. At the bottom, you can select the scale of the timeline. By default, it's 30 minutes. You can select 1 hour, 2 hours, 6 hours, or 24 hours. If you want to move forward or back on the timeline, use the arrow key right here. Now right above the timeline, you see the red marks. That identifies when there was an event recording. Now the timeline you saw earlier was with the NVR set up to record on motion events only. If you set up the NVR to record continuously 24/7, then you'll see this blue bar on the timeline right here. Now with the continuous recording, you can click anywhere on the timeline and play it back You can also select a video clip and export it to your external drive. To do that, click on the scissors icon to start clipping, and then drag the timeline to a point where you want to stop clipping. Click on the scissors icon again to stop clipping. Now click on the gear icon, which is file management. Choose the file you clipped, and then you select export. Here's a look at the nighttime view. Now if you look at the garage, all the lights are turned off, and right now this is illuminated by the infrared lights. As you can see, the video is very clear even with no lights on. And right here is a street view. As you can see, this outdoor view is also very clear. Looking at the ANNKE Vision app, here are the 4 cameras. If you select one of them, it will show you the live view. If you select the menu icon right here and select playback, here you can select the dates and the time. So this is 8:30 in the morning. There's a full screen look. You can take a snapshot and save it to your phone. You can also record this video and save it to your phone. Select menu again. Select settings. Now if you want push notification, make sure the notification is enabled. You can also set up a notification schedule. As you can see from the recorded videos, the camera has excellent clarity for both daytime and nighttime. With a physical hard drive inside the NVR, you can set it up to record continuously 24/7. You don't have to worry about any missing video or events happening that the motion detection didn't capture. You can easily play back the recorded video and export it to an external drive. Now with a PoE camera, you only have to run one Ethernet cable from the camera to the NVR. You don't have to mess around with a separate power adapter to power the camera. Now the H800 NVR with 4 cameras retail for about $485. A 1TB hard drive will add another $60, so you're looking at about $550 for the system. For a 4K resolution system like this, the price is pretty good. Now if you want to know where you can get it, check out the link below, and let me know your thoughts about the system in the comment section. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching this video. To support this channel, remember to click on the thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and turn on the notification bell so you get notified of new videos.